Hello everybody, good morning and good afternoon wherever you live. This video is designed for somebody who thinks that they don't have any skills, and if they think they don't have any natural talent or ability that can help them in their own lives. And what I want to tell you is two things. Number one, you're wrong, and number two, there's a way to figuring out what it is, right? And honestly, that talent or skill can be whatever you want it to be. So I'm going to show you today how you can obtain this skill and how you can find what you want to do and the skill sets required to do that thing. So first step, I hope you can still see me, but the first step is to first understand how it's even possible to maybe find a natural talent if you are not somebody who genetically or obviously has one. And for all purposes and reasons, you shouldn't think about talent as something special or as something like passion. You should think about it as like a skill, right? My best analogy is Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. If you are a soccer fan, you know he is been one of the most hardworking people that ever played the sport. Great guy, great, all that, right? What he did was he forcibly put himself in situations where he has to adapt. Now that's key, because in order to have any sort of talent, skill, or natural ability, which I'll get into in a second, you have to actually put yourself in a scenario and try it, right? You'll never know what you're good at unless you keep trying things over and over again, or you decide on what you want to be good at, which for most people, it's probably getting better jobs, becoming, a CEO, getting a raise, all that fun stuff, right? And that's great and all, but does that align with who you want to be and how your life should go, in your opinion? You should be able to design your life in a way where you can essentially build upon your previous skills or build new skills, and then you can take control of where you are in your life and not only become more accountable for yourself, but be able to help other people as well, which is a beautiful thing to do. Besides that, how we're going to go about this is, let's say, I want to put you in the shoes of a football player, an American football player, right? Let's say you're 5'8", 150 pounds. You're good muscle, but you're always going up against taller people and bigger people, right? So the first solution that I can think of on the spot is eat more, right? You're always going to become bigger if you eat more. That should be a simple athletic fact. If you don't know that, it's caloric deficit type thing, right? You got to be above how much calories you intake if you want to gain muscle and or fat. And number two, another solution would be to practice more of the actual sport, because you're not going to get better thinking about doing the sport. You're going to get better actually doing that thing and getting feedback from real life scenarios, right? That's why practices are so important for people, is because it replicates the game. And if you can replicate the game in that person, especially on a psychological level, you'll be able to get a really well-rounded, good athlete. And so what does that have to do with us, right? Because obviously most of us are average people and we're just trying to go through life as it is. Well, maybe it's getting a better grade in statistics in a math class, right? Maybe it's trying to be more open to new people and new experiences, right? That can be another thing too. You have to learn how to get uncomfortably close to new scenarios, not to the point where you want to run away from it entirely, but to the point where you understand that what you're doing is important, and yet you are still aware of not trying to, I don't want to say overdo yourself, but to not exceed what you can possibly do in the present moment. You have to take those two and put in a delicate balance, so that way, well, A, on a neurological level, you don't just fry out and not have any senses or ability to do anything, you know, because like burnout's a real thing apparently. And number two is so that way your mind can actually learn like the new material you're giving it, the new responses you're giving it, because you got to keep in mind, as you're trying to build a new skill set, you're putting your mind into an entirely different environment which you've never been into before, and that can be scary. Like, I was scared the first time I recorded a YouTube video, right? I had all my little factors, whatever, fear, and then over time I've learned to try to put that to the side and just focus on individual tactics or psychology tricks to help like bring a message to you guys, the audience, to take that initiative and actually do the thing that you don't want to do is how you're going to build a skill and then eventually become naturally talented, which in reality almost every single time there are very few people who are actually naturally talented, but most people actually just inherit a skill because they've done it for so fucking long that they just adapt and they live and breathe that scenario. They live and breathe the pressure, right? Just like all popular athletes do, just like good workers do, just like CEOs do, right? The better you become in this world, the more problems you're gonna have to solve. You can't get around that, right? And you have to be prepared to solve those things and conquer them at one challenge at a time. It's always important to put 100% of your effort into something, so that way you get 100% of what you can back out. It's like trying to ride a bike without training wheels and without guidance, right? So yeah, you could be putting some effort into it, but you aren't thinking, right? Because there's always, you could try hard enough and eventually you'll get it, sure, 100%. But you also have to think smart too. Thinking about, how is this going to be done? Will it be easier if I do it this way or that way? And maybe there's a cost associated with that, right? Maybe you want to become a pro cyclist. Well, in order to become a pro cyclist, you're going to need a bike. It doesn't have to be an expensive bike, just a bike. A trainer maybe, or if you do, you can relegate that to yourself, right? Training, doing long distance cardio, all that great stuff. And then number three is signing up and actually doing the races, seeing how you place, evaluating what you should do next. Maybe it's a nutrition problem, strength problem, endurance problem, mental problem. Being able to go about that analysis is going to be key in developing your skills. Also, I'm about 100% sure you can't see me at this point, so I do apologize. I can't really reach for it. But point is that you want to learn how to believe in yourself in a way that is realistic, yet also empowering, I guess. Is that the word I want to use? Maybe. Either way, I'm going to end the video here, and I hope that you understand now that everybody can learn a skill, and everybody can become good at something, at whatever they want to be. You just have to go through the uncomfortable process of pushing yourself through things that you don't want to do. And, well, if you're here this far, like and subscribe, because, well, it helps promote my channel, and maybe one day I can make a living off this. Hopefully a good one, so that way I can give back to the people that gave to me, you know? But either way, I do appreciate all of you watching. I probably just doxed my address, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm out.